Good morning, afternoon, evening, and welcome to this conference on European payments and digital assets. I'm John Orchard, OMFIF's CEO. Welcome, everyone. This event sounds technical and specific, and it is and will be, but it touches on some enormous fundamental changes taking place in the nature of money and how it moves, brought about principally by huge technological change over the last 20 years, and which is now coming to a head with deal technology in particular. And so we'll be taking in everything from what money is and how European society wishes to interact with it, to whether corporate treasuries will one day transact bilaterally on DLT, for example, to whether blockchain bonds will solve conundrums bedeviling sustainable capital markets, through to what CBDCs might mean for reserves management or even European monetary union. The extraordinary delegate list we have today, ranging across a huge variety of central banks around the world, but also commercial banks, technology companies, old and new, regulators, investors, custodians, academics, sovereign wealth funds, payment platforms, exchanges, consultants, and others, hint at how much is at stake in this revolution about the format of money and securities. And the border between the two, which is shifting. So thank you all for joining us. OMFIF's Digital Monetary Institute has spent the last 2 years talking to central banks about their digital currency plans. And retail CBDC, I think, is both nearer and further away over the course of those discussions in the meanwhile. And both of those things are especially true in Europe, as we'll explore. The issues which need addressing are way beyond technical implementation, which is challenging enough. Nevertheless, important experiments, as most of you will know, are underway, notably in China. At the same time, I think it's almost certain that wholesale payments are going to change, either via an upgrade to the existing architecture, thanks to the pressure from innovators, or maybe remodeled entirely using DLT-type technology, backed by new versions of public money, possibly integrated directly with capital markets, or something in between the two. So will versions of these things happen in Europe? And if so, how? And what will it mean for banks, corporate treasurers, central banks, payment providers, securities service providers, investors, retailers, financial markets, and of course, the general public? We'll look at all of that. Do look at our agenda in the swap card tab to see where we're covering these themes, and also to find speaker biographies. And there are good networking facilities as well. It's easy to tap up one of the other attendees and request a chat if that's what you'd like to do. And do please ask questions as we go. We're careful to incorporate those if it's possible. My colleagues will be passing me questions in a moment, and also to the other moderators we have for you today, and including for the keynote I've got in a moment. My colleague Katie Ann Wilson will kick us off with a look at the impact of a retail CBDC in Europe in a little while. But first, I'd like to welcome our keynote speaker, Sir Paul Tucker.